All right, my name's James Spearman, and today I'm going to be going through Permaguard's application process with you. What I've got with me is our cleaning agent, the treatment for damaged paint, and lastly, the actual product. Just food for thought. Permaguard, think ceramic coating, except it's not. It's a different material. It's actually a polymer material, but it has all the same benefits, especially protecting your paint, but without the drawbacks of causing P-static in the headset. So, food for thought. Let's do it. Okay, I'm going to be using this panel. It's off the icon over there. Now, this paint is still pretty good. I'm going to try to point out some of the imperfections, though. I'm going to start right here. You may be able to see it, but there's definitely some imperfections in the paint. This is like some sort of chemical that got on it, and so that won't come off at all. There's also a lot of water spots on it where I don't clean it off enough, and they're kind of staying on in some areas. What I did was I divided this in two. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit just so you get a really good idea of what this looks like before we start this process. So what I'm showing you, you can definitely see fingerprints. But see, here's those water spots and where we tried to clean it off with some hard chemicals and it damaged the paint. It's still shiny. It's not terrible, but we're going to see what the difference is side by side. I'm going to do this area over here and then compare it with the area that we didn't. I would say this side is less damaged to start with, but this is going to make a huge difference. So one last time, here it is before we start the process. Okay, let's do this. So obviously not exactly the best setup, but I'll do the best that I can. So we're working with this area. You can't really exactly see this area. It's fine, but we're going to leave this one alone and we're going to work this. First thing that we're going to start with is their cleaner. This is, a lot of people are kind of surprised with how much this application costs labor-wise, but the paint has to be essentially perfect or great before we put this on. All of the defects and everything have to be out. No grease, no bugs, all that stuff has to come off. And so there's a lot of buffing and cleaning to start with before we even get going. So I'm trying to not get over there as best I can. I want to be fair with this, but I am really working here trying to get this all the way clean. I'm really working trying to get this all the way clean, and I think I did. I don't see any more bugs or debris. This panel wasn't exactly perfect. It's been on the underside of the wing. It gets a lot of overspray. It doesn't get cleaned very often, so it actually picked up some water spots. But to me, that looks good. I'm gonna go one last time over here. Okay, so next, because there's a little bit of damage on the panel, what I'm going to do is use this. This is for treatment for slightly damaged surfaces. We got a bonnet on here. Permaguard recommends using 2 at once. I don't think it makes that big of a difference, so I'm just going to use 1 today, and it's just a test panel. So we're going to take a little bit of this. We're going to do 1 circle outside, inside, and outside. No big deal. This is a small part anyways. This is probably way overkill. I'm going to take this, kind of spread it around, try to not cross lines over there as well, and then we'll give it a go. Now I'm going to go up and down, and then I'm going to go left and right. All right, let's take a look at this. That looks pretty good. So we're gonna take this off. And normally I'd take this and go back over it and buff it, but for this, such a small panel, I'm just gonna use a rag to buff that compound back off. So I'm gonna put a little bit of elbow grease in here with a clean, dry rag. Make sure that paint is perfect. Now, you totally can burn through the paint, so you got to be careful. You don't want to um, keep going with that. It's essentially a buffing compound, very light buffing compound. You can go straight through the paint. So, wow, that already makes a pretty dang big difference. Okay, next we've got two more pads here. And essentially what we're going to do is the first one, we're going to apply it on, and the second one is going to get it off. So wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to go ahead and put this bonnet on here. This is not exactly my favorite part. Okay, bonnet's on there. Again, they recommend using two at once, but it actually burns up my buffers, so I don't like doing that. All right, so just this actually goes a really long way with this stuff. This is actual Permagard, and so I did one inner ring, one outer ring, and let's see what that does. I'm gonna take it again, try to keep off my non-test area. I'm gonna wipe this in just a little bit. All right, let's give her a go. Go left and right. All the way up in the corners. All right, so that was applying it. And again, this is kind of hard to do with such a small test area. I had to screw it down my little cart here to make that work, but it is what it is. All right, we're going on with the clean bonnet. This one is going to be wax off, Mr. Miyagi. Put this on there, we're going to go back over it. Last step. All right. So once it's ready, you can actually feel it just loosen up towards just so smooth. It just starts to glide. And right now I've got another um, pad that I could go over it with to polish it, but I don't know if you can hear that. It's a big difference. Can't hear anything? It's perfect. It is awesome. So We'll go over it once more with the polishing pad. Way overkill for this little guy, but an effort just to really show you what it can do. We're going to use this here polishing pad. Go one last time over it. It's a really big difference. Okay, now we'll examine our work here. I mean to strip out that screw, but I'm going to pull my tape off. Really reveal it here. All right, let's see how we did. You can see I'm going to put my hand right here where the tape line is. That's newish paint, but not protected in any way. That's the finished product on the left side. It is just absolutely fantastic. If you're interested in protecting your paint on your airplane, let me know.